Hello and welcome to Kettering Farms. We're here with our first actual playing episode for the Royalton, Minnesota map. If you have not seen the intro video that I did with the farm tour, a little bit of a map tour, go check that video out. It'll be the first in the playlist here. But today we're going to actually dive in and start playing. And so, as always with a new save, especially with seasons and precision farming, we have a few things that we need to take care of here. And so we're going to grab this 6410, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves hooked up to the soil sampler. Now, I have historically just gone in and uncovered all of the fields through the interface. We're going to actually try and use the soil sampler on this playthrough. I have increased the scan radius a little bit of the soil sampler, so it shouldn't be quite as painful as vanilla, but still within reason, I hope. So as you can see here, the sample size has been increased to cover essentially the entire radius of the mini-map. Not quite, but enough so that as I move around inside of the field and the map itself, I'm not causing any graphical issues. Now, I don't remember the buttons here. B is to take soil samples. So we're going to go ahead and take this sample. I think because I'm on the edge of the map, I'm probably actually going to be a little bit off from where the circle is here. That's okay. What I really want to do is just make sure I get all of this field. And so we're just going to run down this field here real quick and get all of our soil samples. And once we get our soil sampled, we're going to be able to kind of move on to some of that early field work. If we look at the map here, again, actually going to the main map, all of this area is ours right now. So I'm actually taking soil samples here a little bit past our farm, which is okay. That's not going to hurt anything. And so I should be able to get away with actually doing soil samples on our whole farm in, 5 or 6 passes here, which is actually pretty good. We're going to come up here just a little bit. No sense wasting time and money taking samples of the neighbors' fields down there. And so once we get done with that, we're going to need to lime and plow some of our fields, I think. If we take a look here, yeah, we've got these 3 arable fields that need to be plowed, and then this grass field up just north of us here looks like it could use some plowing as well, just to get rid of that plow state penalty on our yields. I don't know if that affects grass or not, but honestly, there's just no sense in leaving it there. We might as well just take care of it all while we're here, and probably even replace the grass with some alfalfa based on looking at what is needed with the feed. I think that alfalfa is probably going to be a better fit for us on this farm. And so, yeah, this is just regular grass. I mean, it didn't look like alfalfa, but with these modded maps, you're never quite sure. You always want to double check and make sure that you're looking at things right. So we're doing pretty good here. We've taken a few more samples than I thought we'd need, but honestly, I'm just kind of overlapping. I want to make sure we don't miss any sections, and this is working out really good for this size of farm. I know taking soil samples is not necessarily the funnest part of precision farming, but given that I have a tendency to kind of gloss past this part of the game more often than not, I thought since we've got a smaller farm, this would be a good time to actually do it the quote-unquote right way. And so I've got all of those fields done. Now, I'm kind of curious if this grassy area up here is going to give me a readout or not. It doesn't look like it's actually been set up as a field. It's kind of a pasture full of a lot of flowers and stuff here. Weeds, most likely, or painted weeds, I don't know. We might end up plowing this up and then planting something back here, but I can't actually take soil samples of it right now, so it's not set up as a field yet. So we'll have to plow that under eventually here. So now that we've taken all the soil samples, I need to push the Y key to send these to the laboratory. I have no idea what that's actually going to cost me. Hopefully it'll do it even though I don't have any money, and just back charge me and make it negative. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute. I might need to go take out a loan and try that again in just a minute or two. But we're going to put this soil sampler back in the shed here while we wait. And there's our soil sample analysis coming back here at $800. So it did put us into the negative, but that's okay. We've got a little bit more credit that we can take out from the bank, it looks like. So we are using the base game soil sample map. And so since we're down here in the corner, we're pretty much solidly in this salty clay spot. We've got a little bit of this loam here, which is the best soil type. And so not the best, not the worst. If I look at this map, you can see our total yield potential is actually below average for these fields. So not really going to be that big of a deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but with the way the economy works in Farm Sim, I'm not too worried about it. Speaking of economy, we should be on hard economy difficulty. I always like to play on hard because even with hard, Farm Sim seems to be pretty easy compared to real life farming. So that's quite okay with me. So with that, we also need to look at the pH level. So you can see here, the pH level in our fields is absolutely abysmal. And so this is, again, because we're starting off a new game. So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more money out of the bank. In fact, we're just going to take this all the way up to 600K, have a little bit of working capital in the bank while we get everything set up this spring. And I think what we want to do is come in here and we're going to contract out to the co-op to come spread some lime on our fields. Yes, I'm going to spend a little bit extra to get the white one. We're going to put some big hoppers on here, and then we're going to lease this, and we're going to call that our fee to the co-op for coming out and spreading lime on our fields. And we'll have to actually drive this into town and get some lime, because we're not going to buy lime a pallet at a time. We're going to go to one of the bulk drive stations here. Somebody asked in the comments of my video previously if there was traffic on this map. I have not turned traffic off, so I'm going to assume that there is currently no traffic, which is unfortunate, but I'd like to remind everybody that this is a beta release of this map. There's a lot of opportunities to improve things. There's a lot of things still going on. I know TJ has posted quite a few things on his Facebook page around things that he's working on or would like to do to this map. And so I'm not sure if there is a timeline for that, but at this point, it's pretty good. It's playable. There's definitely issues, but not enough. I haven't come across any issues that would prevent me from playing on it. So we do have these bulk buy points right here, which is a pleasant convenience. Now, apparently they're going to load extremely slow, and so we're going to cut back in when this is done. I have to say I'm super excited that there was a bulk buy point right here just down the road from our farm. We're going to go ahead and start, I think, right here, and we'll do this headland, I believe is what I'm going to do. And we'll get to the far end down there and do the up and down rows with GPS, I think is going to be our jam. If I look at this, we are doing automatic. And actually, if I turn our little map on, I can see the automatic, which is even better. It'd help if we could drive straight, but, you know, we're asking a bit much at that point. I am going to go back and fix that. Probably when we do our up and down rows, it'll be easier to just hit that a little bit. Hopefully we'll come in and need to back up like we're doing here for that. All right, we've got GPS here. Let's see if hopefully we can get a track going. We are going to try and set it up here more or less straight, even though this looks like it's a slanting row. The next row will be that much easier to do. and so I'm not going to worry about it too much here. Normally I like to play with the HUD off, but with precision farming and all the detail that comes with that, it's kind of handy to have the map up to make sure you're doing things right. And I've got GPS going, I've got lime fill going, so sometimes it's just easier to leave the HUD on. Now, I did the headland here just because we've got these trees. I mean, technically we've got the grass here, should be enough to turn around on, but I don't know. I was feeling generous and I wanted to give myself a little bit of extra space. So let's see here. We're going to turn this guy back on and see if we can get going here. Now, precision farming is keeping me honest when I get to my headlands. It's not using up the extra lime there as we turn around, so that is handy. And the thing I like about this spreader is it's going to make pretty quick work of our fields. You know, again, can't afford to have all of the equipment on our farm just now, and so being able to call in the co-op and get a big machine like this out to spread for us is a huge bonus. Let's see here. We've got one more path up and back, and we should be done with this field. We can't forget, we've got to go back and get this little bits here. We'll be greatly annoyed. According to precision farming, that bit's already fertilized. It doesn't need any more. Alright, well, we're back in the field here. We ran out of lime right before the end of this second field, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was hoping we'd at least make it through these two small fields before we ran out, but we didn't. And that is just the way it works sometimes with, again, starting off with seasons and precision farming. That first year is always brutal. And that's the danger with switching maps, is we're paying that first year cost again. So we need to hopefully make it through a few seasons on this map to get caught up financially, especially with my desire to play with some more modern equipment. Modern equipment is expensive. I could have started with a lot smaller, older equipment on this map and probably not even gone into debt getting started here. But, you know, sometimes you just got to have a little bit of fun. And so we're going to have fun playing with some different stuff on this map. Hopefully we'll be able to try out some different kinds of equipment and do some different things on this map. I think this is going to be a fun series for us. So I'm looking forward to getting through some of these spring chores and getting into it. I think what we're going to do here in just a second is, as soon as we get this grass field done, we're going to let a worker kind of kick off on some of this and get the plow out here, the vertical tillage tool, and get field 31 taken care of. Now, I have converted that over to be a subsoiler type machine, just because I find that that's a little bit more realistic for what I'd use something like that for. Chew up some of this stubble and stuff before we put crops back into that field. So I don't see the need to have an actual plow or a ripper or anything for what we're doing right now. So we'll see how it goes, but we're going to get the vertical tillage tool out here shortly and go tackle this far field that needs a little bit of attention. Now, I'm a little bit nervous about letting a worker tackle a field like this, just because of the ditches, but we're gonna go ahead and disable GPS, turn on the worker, hop out here, and hopefully he doesn't get into too much trouble. So let's get this 7R fired up. We've already got the tillage tool all hooked up and ready to go. This thing is brand new, never seen a field, so it's time to get it dirty. Oh, can we clear our truck? We don't want to put any scratches on our nice new truck there. Now, aside from adding the subsoiler function to this, I haven't done anything else to it, so this mod is available on the in-game mod hub. The soil is frozen, you can't work it. Say what? Oh, what do you know? It's really cold, it's early spring. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna just leave this parked here, I guess, for now. And we're gonna go see what this guy is doing, and I guess take back over and finish spreading our lime, and we'll get that guy going here in a little bit. Now, of course, this guy has to line up where we're essentially straddling this huge grassy middle section, but it does look like there's actually a little bit of field definition there on the side of what was actually planted. So when we run through that with the tillage tool, I'm guessing we'll plow up a little bit more of this grass than what is defined as field right now, which will be fine by me. I think just having a little bit of grass separation there is going to be good. I'll probably keep these as separate fields. I know most people would probably plow these together. I think I'm going to keep them separate for now, though. And I'm going to actually finish putting lime on these fields separately. I was tempted to drive all the way to the back there on field 29, but given that we're running low on lime already, I'd rather stay in this corner field because we're going to need to run back up to the elevator one more time, it looks like. Hopefully not more than that. I'd like to be able to get the rest of this limed with one more trip back up to the elevator. Kind of curious what that grassy corner is for. It doesn't look like there's any driveways or anything there. It's got some pretty steep ditches, so I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with that. Let's get over here. Maybe there's a driveway that I just didn't see. I'm not seeing any driveways anywhere. We'll go down to the corner here and just double check. Wow, that drops off steeply there. We will not be planting anything there. We may have to get that mod where I can make my cultivator turn into a plow and take up this grass here and just round out this corner. Either way, we're going to have to go around to get back on the road. We're here going on our third load here, and I forgot that we didn't make it to the end of the pass here, so I started off on the next GPS track over. We'll have to come back and grab that, and we'll be good to go. We're almost done with this field, and then we've just got this last, I think it's probably our biggest field up here in the back. This is field 29. And so all of our fields are not the same size, but similar in size. And so I like that. I like that in general, we're going to have different jobs to do in these fields as we put different crops in at different times, and hopefully keep us a little bit busier throughout the year. I feel like a lot of times when you're running seasons, everything happens in a single day. From a season's perspective, at least when you're running on 6-day seasons like I tend to. 3-day seasons for sure, that's how it feels like. Maybe at some point here I should look at expanding the number of days that I play seasons with. 6 has always just felt about right from a normal farming or row crop farming play perspective. Especially with like animals and stuff. I feel like the more that I extend the day with seasons, the more painful animals become. I know it adjusts the amount of feed that you have to feed them, but you're still having to do it daily, which, I mean, I guess in real life you have to take care of your animals daily, but when I'm playing video games, sometimes some of the things that are a little more monotonous get to be a bit much for me. And so I want to kind of find a good balance there. So we'll see how this dairy cow thing goes. I know the pigs on Flint Hills has been a crazy amount of work as well, so we're still learning. All right, so we're up in this bigger field. We're hugging kind of close to the edge of the field just because I'm never quite sure where the actual field ends on a new map. Like we saw before, it looks like it bleeds past what you can see a little bit sometimes. And so we're going to just kind of keep going here. It looks like I'm able to spread some lime on this grassy area too, which may be good when we get into eventually plowing that up. We'll see. But it's probably going to mean we're running a little low on lime. Let's check in on things here. If we bring up the HUD, we're at 23%, and we've still got a fair amount of field to go here. I'm going to be really, really sad when we have one pass left and I've got to try and run back up there and guess how much lime we need. but sometimes that's just how it works out. Well, we made it to the end of a pass at least and ran out right at the end. We do have a couple of passes left here, so we're probably going to go ahead and I don't know if I want to get a full load. We'll probably get a half load, and then if we have a little bit of extra, we can always just scoop it out and store it, I guess. I don't even know if I can dump it back out of this thing, actually, so we'll figure it out. All right, we've got a little over 50%. We're going to take our chances and assume this is going to cover the rest of that field. If it doesn't, we're going to be one sad farmer. All right, final pass. We are going to make it. We're going to have a little bit left over. We're going to try not to completely cover the house. And what should we do with what's left over? I think we're going to drive it up here into the yard and maybe back it up right somewhere in here and see if I can unload it, and then we'll put it into this shed if I have time. That's not too bad, 2 pallets. We'll sort that out here at some point. Now, let me just think about this. Since we haven't dug this up yet, I'm not too worried about it. We've got good pH in all of our fields now, so I think we're good to return this to the co-op. So we're going to just go ahead and call them and say, hey, come get your equipment. Good deal. We'll come take care of these pallets here at some point soon. And so we're going to call that an episode, and we'll dig into some spring tillage and figure out our planting schedule here next episode. It does look like potatoes plant pretty early in the season, 41 degrees Fahrenheit versus a typical corn and soybeans at 50. We can get some sunflowers in at 45 potentially. So I think we're going to be planting pretty close to early spring here with the potatoes. That'll be nice to get some crops in on the early side. And so we'll see how this goes. That's all for today. Kedrick, out.